I welcome you all to my 26th lecture on digital signal processing, that is UEC 502, for electronics and communication engineering students and electronics and computer engineering students. We will discuss this Butterworth low-pass filter design technique today. The Butterworth low-pass filters are defined by the property that the magnitude response is maximally flat in the pass band. For an nth order low-pass filter, the first 2n minus 1 derivatives of the magnitude squared function are 0 at capital omega is equal to 0. Here capital omega is the angular frequency in the continuous time domain. As a parameter capital N increases, the filter characteristics become sharper. Another property is that the magnitude response is monotonic in pass band as well as in the stop band. There are two end poles equally spaced in angle on a circle of radius omega c in S plane. There are two end poles equally spaced in angle on a circle of radius omega c in the S plane. The poles are symmetrically located with respect to imaginary axis. It is noteworthy that a pole never falls on the imaginary axis. But if n is odd, then a pole can occur on the real axis. But this is not the case when n is even. That is, when capital N is even, pole cannot occur on real axis. To determine the system function of the analog filter, to associate with the Butterworth magnitude function, we must perform the factorization hs into h minus s. The poles of magnitude squared function always occur in pairs. If there is a pole at s is equal to sk, then a pole also occurs at s is equal to minus sk. This is for the poles of magnitude square function. To construct hs from the magnitude square function, we would choose one pole from each such pair. To obtain a stable and causal filter, we should choose the poles on the left half plane of the S plane. So from signal system, for the stability and causality of filter, the poles must lie in the left hand portion of S plane. But our focus in this lecture is on the IAR digital filters. The IAR digital filters can easily be obtained by beginning with an analog filter and then using a mapping to transform the S plane into Z plane. Therefore, the design of digital filter is reduced to designing an appropriate analog filter and then performing the conversion from HS to HZ in such a way so as to preserve as much as the desired characteristics of the analog filter. So if I want to design IAR digital filter, then I need to first design an appropriate analog filter, and then I will transform its system function HS to HZ by appropriate mapping from S plane to Z plane. As discussed in the previous lectures, I can transform analog filter to IAR digital filter by various techniques. Here in this lecture, our discussion is limited to the low pass filters. Why? Because we can convert a low pass prototype filter into either a band pass filter or a high pass filter or a band reject filter by using several available frequency transformation. Now the low pass filters are all pole filters characterized by the magnitude squared frequency response as magnitude h omega square is equal to 1 by 1 plus bracket omega by omega c raised to power 2n, mark it as equation A. And magnitude h omega square is also equal to 1 by 1 plus e square bracket omega by omega p raised to power 2n, mark it as equation B. So for magnitude square function, I have two equations A and B. Here capital N is the order of the filter. Omega c is the minus 3 dB frequency called the cutoff frequency. Omega p is the passband edge frequency. Now if in equation B, I will substitute omega is equal to omega p, or I will evaluate magnitude omega h omega square at omega is equal to omega p, I will get answer is equal to 1 by e square. So 1 by 1 plus e square is passband edge value of magnitude h omega square. Since hs into h minus s evaluated at s is equal to j omega is simply equal to magnitude h omega square, it follows that hs into h minus s is equal to 1 by 1 plus bracket minus s square by omega c square raised to power n from equation A. Mark it as equation C. So if we substitute s is equal to j omega in equation A, this I can write hs into h minus s as 1 by 1 plus bracket minus s square by omega c square raised to power n. So I mark it as equation S. For analog filter design, we need to calculate the poles of hs into h minus s. So I will equate the denominator equal to 0 in equation C. It leads to the following. The poles of hs into h minus s occur on a circle of radius omega c at equally spaced points. Therefore, minus s square by omega c square is equal to minus 1 raised to power 1 by n, and that is equal to e raised to power j bracket 2k plus 1 into pi by n for k 0 to n minus 1. Mark it as equation D. I have got equation D by equating denominator equal to 0 in equation C. And it leads to the pole locations of hs as sk is equal to omega c e raised to power j pi by 2 e raised to power j bracket 2k plus 1 pi by 2n for k 0 to n minus 1. Mark it as equation E. Now we look back to a typical point. The poles of magnitude square function always occur in pairs. If there is a pole at s is equal to sk, then a pole also occurs at s is equal to minus sk. So if a pole is occurring at s is equal to sk, then there is a pole at s is equal to minus sk also, and that correspond to the pole of h minus s. So we note that magnitude h omega square is monotonic in both passband as well as in stopband as per equation A and B. Now the order of the filter required to meet an attenuation minus 20 log delta 2 dB at a specified frequency omega s is determined by using equation B as equation G. Now look at this. We are given that attenuation is minus 20 log delta 2 dB. So magnitude h omega square evaluated at omega is equal to omega s, that is at stop and edge frequency, equal to delta 2 square. From this it is equal to delta 2 square, and omega is equal to omega s from equation B. So delta 2 square is equal to 1 by 1 plus e square bracket omega s by omega p raised to power 2n. You look at equation B here. I have substituted omega is equal to omega s instead of magnitude h omega square, I am writing delta 2 square here, and I can have this equation G. Now I need to calculate n. If I am having omega s, omega p, e, and delta 2, I can calculate n as n is equal to log bracket delta by e divided by log omega s by omega p. Mark it as equation J. Here omega is the stop band edge frequency. In this equation, delta, what is delta? Delta is dependent upon delta 2. That is delta 2 is equal to 1 by square root 1 plus delta square. By definition, mark it as equation K. Now, this is from equation B. Now I can calculate the order of filter also from equation A. Now look at equation A. If I will substitute omega is equal to omega s here and delta 2 square here. So delta 2 square is equal to 1 by 1 plus omega s by omega c raised to power 2n. And now using this equation A, I can calculate n is equal to log bracket 1 by delta 2 square minus 1 divided by 2 log omega s by omega c. Mark it as equation I. Now order of filter n is dependent upon ratio of omega s by omega c and delta 2 in I. In equation J, order of filter n is dependent upon delta 2 and ratio of omega s by omega p and e. Thus, the Butterworth filter is completely characterized by the parameters capital N, delta 2, E, and ratio of omega s by omega p, or ratio of omega s by omega c. Now we will plot the pole zero diagram for Butterworth filter. Here the pole positions of Butterworth filter in S-plane are as shown. Now I will discuss two cases for n even and n odd. In case of n even, I will choose capital N 4, and for n odd, I will choose capital N is equal to 5. Now here for n even, that is n is equal to 4. Now these 4 poles, 1, 2, 3, 4 poles in the left hand portion of S plane belongs to HS. And these 1, 2, 3, 4 poles in the right hand portion in S plane belong to H minus S. Now look at this, for n even, no pole exists on imaginary axis and no pole exists on real axis. Now in case of capital N is equal to 5, that is odd, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 5 poles in the left hand side of S plane belong to HS, and these 5 poles on the right hand side in S plane belong to H minus S. And look at this, there is no pole on imaginary axis as mentioned above, but on the real axis poles are located when n is odd. On the real axis poles are located. So this is how we mark pole positions of Butterworth filter in S plane. Now we will do one example. Determine the order and the pose of the low pass Butterworth filter that has a minus 3 dB bandwidth of 500 Hz and an attenuation of 40 dB at 1000 Hz. Now the critical frequencies are the minus 3 dB frequency omega c and the stop band frequency omega s. Now look at this. The cutoff frequency is 500 Hz and the attenuation of 40 dB is occurring at 1000 Hz. So this is stop band edge frequency. So omega c is from this 1000 pi and omega s is 2000 pi. Now for an attenuation of 40 dB, this means actually it is minus 20 log 10 delta 2 is equal to 40, or 20 log 10 delta 2 is equal to 40 minus 40. So this, it follows that delta 2 is equal to 0.01. Now using what we have, omega c cutoff frequency, omega s stop band edge frequency, and delta 2. So I will use equation I. Let us see equation I once more. This is equation I. N is equal to log bracket 1 by delta 2 square minus 1 divided by 2 log omega s by omega c. So I will use this equation. N is equal to log bracket 10 is power 4 minus 1 divided by 2 log 2. That will give me 6.64, and which is approximately equal to 7. So to meet the desired specifications, we select N is equal to 7. Now to meet the desired specification, we have selected N is equal to 7, and the pole positions are at Sk is equal to omega c e raised to power j pi by 2 e raised to power j bracket 2k plus 1 pi by 2n. N is 7, so pi by 40. And these are the pole locations of Hs. So Sk are pole locations of Hs. And Sk is equal to omega c is 1000 pi. So Sk is equal to 1000 pi e raised to power j bracket pi by 2 plus 2k plus 1 pi by 14 for k 0 to 6. And the corresponding response of Butterworth filter is shown by MATLAB simulation. That is the frequency response of Butterworth filter. Magnitude h omega square is on y-axis, and continuous time angular frequency is shown on x-axis. For n is equal to 7, the order n is equal to 7, this blue colored line shows the response of Butterworth filter for n is equal to 7. You see that in the pass band, the response is maximally flat. And if I will choose n less than 7, that is 4, you can see a drastic change in the response of Butterworth filter in pass band. And for n is equal to 1, I cannot see any flatness in the pass band. So the appropriate value of order of filter is 7 or more than 7. If I will choose n more than 7, then the sharpness will increase in the transition width, but it is at the cost of increased computation complexity. So it is how we design the Butterworth filter in analog domain. Now the frequency transformations for analog filters. This is very important because from low pass filter, I can design other filters based on a given low pass filter. I can transform that low pass filter into other filters like high pass filter, band pass filter, or band stop filter, or another low pass filter with different band edge frequency. So suppose that we have a low pass filter with pass band edge frequency capital omega p in continuous time domain. That is, omega p is the pass band edge frequency, and we are dealing with frequency transformation for analog filter. Now we are given a low pass filter. I just want to transform this low pass filter into another low pass filter whose band edge frequency is omega p dash. So what I will do? In the system function of given low pass filter Hs, I will replace S with omega p by omega p dash into S. And I will get the system function of the new low pass filter whose band edge frequency is omega p dash. Now let us take an example of band pass filter. I want to transform a low pass filter into the band pass filter. The given low pass filter is having pass band edge frequency omega p, and the desired band pass, the given low pass filter is having pass band edge frequency capital omega p, and the desired band pass filter must have lower band edge frequency omega l and upper band edge frequency omega u. Then in the system function Hs of low pass filter, I will replace S with omega p bracket S square plus omega L into omega u divided by S bracket omega u minus omega L. And this is how I can transform the system function for low pass filter to system function of band pass filter. Similarly, If I want to design a band stop filter by transformation of a low pass filter, then we start with this, that I have been given a low pass filter with passband edge frequency capital omega. The desired band stop filter need to have lower band edge frequency omega L and upper band edge frequency omega U, that is desired for band stop filter. So what I will do, in the system function HS of low pass filter, given low pass filter, I will replace S with omega P bracket S bracket omega U minus omega L divided by S square plus omega U into omega L. And the new system function in terms of HS, in terms of S, the new system function HS of band stop filter will have low band edge frequency at omega L and upper band edge frequency at omega U. So this transformation we will apply to generate new band stop filter, band pass filter, high pass filter, and other low pass filter. The corresponding band edge frequencies of new filter are omega P dash for low pass filter. For high pass filter, it will be omega P dash. Band pass filter, this omega L and omega U are the edge frequencies. And similarly for band stop filter, omega L and omega U are the band edge frequencies. But this transformation need to be done to transform a low pass filter into these four category filters. Now, some of these mappings are nonlinear and may appear to distort the frequency response characteristics of the low pass filter. However, the effects of nonlinearity or the frequency response are minor. Thus, the equally ripple low pass filter is transformed into an equally ripple band pass or band stop or high pass filter. Now, this is in the analog domain. Now, for IR filter design, we need to transform the filter from S domain to Z domain. So in this case, in the case of bilinear transformation, where aliasing is not a problem, it does not matter whether the frequency transformation is performed in analog domain or in the digital domain. In fact, in this case, the two approaches result in identical digital filters. So I can transform a low pass filter first to some other filter like high pass filter or band pass or band reject filter in analog domain, and then apply the bilinear transformation. Or I can transform the analog filter into the digital filter and then transform it into the other high pass or band reject filter in digital domain. So in case of bilinear transformation, I can transform the filter in analog domain. I can transform the filter in digital domain. Both approaches result in identical digital filters. Now the frequency transformation for digital filters. Now suppose that we have a low pass filter with passband edge frequency small omega p. Here small omega p is the passband edge frequency in the digital domain. That is omega p is passband angular frequency in the discrete time domain, small omega p. Now this is the given filter. Let us suppose I want to design a new high pass filter through the transformation. Then the system function of given low pass filter is Hz. In that, I will replace Z inverse with, for design of high pass filter, I will replace Z inverse with minus bracket Z inverse plus alpha divided by 1 plus alpha Z inverse. Here, the new passband edge frequency omega p dash will be there, but here alpha is equal to minus cos bracket omega p plus omega p dash divided by 2 divided by cos bracket omega p minus omega p dash divided by 2. So this is the transformation. That is, I will replace Z inverse with minus bracket Z inverse plus alpha divided by 1 plus alpha Z inverse, where alpha is this, to design a new high pass filter with band edge frequency omega p dash. Now, let us suppose I want to design band stop filter. Now the available low pass filter in digital domain is having the edge frequency omega p. Now I want to design band stop filter. Then what I will do, in the HZ of low pass filter, I will replace Z inverse with Z raised to minus 2 minus A1 Z raised to minus 1 plus A2 divided by A2 Z raised to minus 2 minus A1 Z inverse plus 1. And the lower band edge frequency omega L of band stop filter will be this omega L. And the upper band edge frequency of this band stop filter will be omega U. Now in this transformation, A1 is 2 alpha by k plus 1 and A2 is 1 minus k divided by 1 plus k. Here k is tan bracket omega U minus omega L by 2 tan omega p by 2. And alpha is equal to cos bracket omega U plus omega L by 2 divided by cos bracket omega U minus omega L by 2. Now here omega p is the pass band edge frequency of given low pass filter. Now let us suppose I want to design a band pass filter. I have specifications. The new band pass filter must have upper band edge frequency omega U and lower band edge frequency omega L. The given pass band edge frequency of low pass filter is omega p. So what I will do, I want to design band pass filter. In the system function HZ of low pass filter, I will replace Z inverse with minus bracket Z raised to minus 2 minus A1 Z raised to minus 1 plus A2 divided by A2 Z raised to minus 2 minus A1 Z raised to minus 1 plus 1. Here parameter A1 is 2 alpha k by k plus 1, A2 is k minus 1 by k plus 1, and k is cot omega u minus omega L by 2 tan omega p by 2. The point to be noted is that omega L and omega u will be given. So k will be calculated as cot bracket omega u minus omega L by 2 tan omega p by 2. Omega p is also given. And alpha here is cos omega u plus omega L by 2 divided by cos omega u minus omega L by 2. Now in this way, the type of transformation is band pass. The transformation used is replace Z inverse with this expression. The design parameters given are omega L and omega U, and omega p is the pass band edge frequencies of available low pass filter. Now in this way, I can convert a low pass filter in digital low pass filter with pass band edge frequency omega p to any of these 4 filters, either low pass filter, high pass filter, or band pass filter, or desired band stop filter, by using these respective transformations. And these are the parameter values which will be given to you. That is all happening in the digital domain, because we are replacing Z inverse with this expression in designing. So this is very important, because we can transform a low pass filter to any other type of filter in digital domain. Here in the previous table, we are having transformations to convert low pass analog filter to any of these 4 types of analog filters by using these transformations. And transformation just replacing S with this. And these are the band edge frequency, new band edge frequencies, which are given to designer. So this transformation, frequency transformation, is in the analog domain, and this frequency transformation in the digital domain. Now our motive is to design the IR filter. Now to avoid aliasing problem, it is much better to perform mapping, that is HLS to HLZ, by using any of 3 techniques, that is IER designed by approximation of derivative, IER designed by impulse invariance, IER designed by bilinear transformation. From analog low pass filter into an IER digital low pass filter first, and then to perform the frequency transformation in the digital. So, you will first transform the low pass filter from analog. You will first transform analog low pass filter into an IER digital low pass filter, and then you can transform that low pass filter, IER low pass filter, digital filter, into other type of digital filters by using frequency transformation for digital filters as per this table. So this is a much easier technique. Now here you can apply all three techniques to design IIR digital low pass filter, that is approximation of derivative, by impulse invariance, and by bilinear transformation. But here in this case, we know that aliasing is a problem in impulse invariance. So the most suitable approach for IR filter design is bilinear transformation in the above case. In this, that is, if you want to transform the analog low pass filter into other type of filter first, then for designing the of IR digital filter, you can use bilinear transformation only. But if you want to use frequency transformation for digital filters, then you can first transform analog low pass filter to an IR digital low pass filter by any of these three techniques, and then perform the frequency transformation in digital domain, and that is a better option. So thanks for attending this session. These are the reference books. You can refer to Digital Signal Processing by John G. Prokis. You can consult Discrete Time Signal Processing by Open and Schaeffer for self-study. That's all for today's lecture. Thanks for attending this session on DSP. See you in next lecture.